Hi, I'm Charmsy. You already know that because you're on the Charmsy channel. So if you don't know, I'm a huge fan of Danganronpa. Have been for about, I'd say 7 years. I got into Danganronpa randomly, and I have been obsessed with it ever since. Danganronpa 2 is my favorite cast. So when I saw Danganronpa 2 times 2 get announced, I hyperventilated and acted like a little child. I went crazy. I cried for at least 2 minutes. And then they showed more Fire Emblem, and I started crying more at the Nintendo Direct. Anyways, this is about my predictions for what's going to happen to the cast. Because I already have ideas. And there's not much you can change. If we're going to get like a whole new story, we're going to get a whole new set of survivors. And at the moment, only Hajime, I think, is like the most of all of them to survive. So I think we should go by chapter. This kind of also like a prediction video. So yeah. Actually no, let's not go by chapters. Let's go by character. Cause I have thoughts for each character. Also, I want to remind you that this video will be unedited because I'm lazy. I don't do editing. And I do stream on Twitch all the time. By all the time I mean like once a week right now. But it's still good. Anyways, let's go by character. Akane. I don't remember why she survived. Every character has a reason they survived. Akane had Nekomaru. Hajime had Chiaki. Fuyu had Peko. Sonia had Gundam. Uh, Sonia over there. And Kazuichi, he's here. So I think for certain when it comes to Akane, we may see Akane. I think she'll be around for like a chapter, or at least 2 chapters because of the beach area. So I'm kind of pointing her towards the third case, being a victim. I think she would be a victim out of all of them. And that brings me to Nekomaru, who at the moment dies in chapter 4 in the original game. But I could see him surviving because he has the story with Akane, and I think that would cause him to spike up. If he like goes emotional, we may not even get Mekamaru. I could see Mekamaru actually surviving. I'm putting Nekomaru, but in actuality, I want Mekamaru to survive. Chiaki. I'll be honest, I had to wait on her and Hajime for a bit because I still don't know how I feel about them. Peko. I want to see the game go on with Peko as like how she would react after losing Fuyuhiko. So I think they'd want to get rid of Fuyuhiko pretty quickly. Because at the moment their stories are connected. I think Fuyuhiko dies chapter 1. Chapter 1 or 2, really. And Peko, right now I'm putting her a survivor, but I most likely see her being like chapter 5 or something. Gundam. He died for Sonia. He has the hamsters. I can't see him. He's not gonna be a killer. That's already basically we get all new. We already got confirmed all new killers, all new survivors. Basically all new survivors. So anyone who was killed before cannot kill. Which Peko, Gundam, Chiaki, Teru, and Mikon cannot kill. Naito technically can, because of he made the mystery that killed Chiaki off, but he technically was the victim of it still. So for Gundam, I think I want to say he would die earlier, and maybe this will give like discussion for Sonya and Kazuichi, because they're basically a love triangle with one of the ends not wanting to meet. So I think I could see him dying chapter 3 with Akane. That's just such a random spot, but I don't think they're gonna follow a lot of the same things they've done. Chiaki I'm waiting on because I need to think more. Mikan. She can't be a killer, so she can't be in chapter 1 or 3 right now. I think they're gonna keep her for the locked room mystery. Or the chapter 4 mystery. Because now that Gundam's not here, Mekamaru is gonna probably be Mekamaru. So I think they'll keep her for that. And then maybe I could see it being a similar thing where Mekamaru dies and Mikan's like, I can't test vitals on a robot. Don't be stupid. But I also think Mikan, how do I say this nicely? They like to objectify her. So I think she'll stay around for at least a little bit. I do not see her surviving. I think Teru Teru has a higher chance of surviving than her. But we'll see. Speaking of Teru Teru, we don't have much of his story. And there are a bunch of options for what spot he could take. He can't be a killer. So that means he can't be here. But he could actually be here if Akane ends up killing. Because it is the despair disease. And I don't know if they're going to keep the same 3 with the despair disease. Maybe she could get it and then, like, get crazy. And kill them too. This would lead to more stories for Mekamaru. Isn't Nekamaru like out of commission for chapter 3 if I remember correctly? That could also help with like mood swings. And I think that could cause Akane to commit murder. But I feel like it would be one of those I didn't know I committed murder things. Sonya. Sonya and Kazuichi are kind of difficult. I don't want to make every killer the survivors. Because that's not good. We're already going into 2x2 with basically 4 people already taken off the suspect list. So they would need them out quickly. Or off the killer list, there's 5 too, but they can be killed off later. I think Sonya could be the first chapter killer. And I could feel like it could be like a misunderstanding. Because I don't know why. Danganronpa loves misunderstanding. And Kazuichi, I could see him being the chapter 2 victim. Because if I remember correctly, he's prying on all. He's like basically staring at all the girls. So he's basically going crazy. And that brings who is the girl that kills him? Or alter ego. Or, I call him Tugami. I can't remember his name. Imposter. Oh my god, Among Us. But if I had to choose any spot, hi Ted, my dog came in. I would. Hiyoko seems like the best spot for this, but part of me thinks she needs to survive for a little longer. I think she could be a chapter 4 killer, chapter 5 killer. If you're wondering why I'm not saying she's gonna be survive, it's because it was already talked about before that she was meant to be a survivor instead of Fuyu. But I don't think they'd play that role again. Maybe can't be Chiaki. Technically can be Hajime. But I don't see them playing the thing. The the protagonist switch again. Unless they do it like very, very early. Because they say a strange event happens that causes the story to shift. Could it be Hajime like ends up basically not become the protagonist and Nagito does? Or imposter? At the moment I want to say Hajime could be the chapter 5 victim, but then that would feel weird if you were still playing as him. Maybe the chapter 4 one. Because I feel like him and Nagito got along so well that Nagito would help him get the weapons to kill someone. And he kills Mikon. Probably by accident. So I want to put Nagito in the survivor list. And that already takes up a lot of spots. Because there's only one male left. Danganronpa 2 originally had 3 men, 2 women. Who survived? Yeah, 3 men, because it was Kazuichi and Fuyu. So, I think they're gonna do that. 3 men, 2 women again, or 3 women, 2 men. That means the imposter, he has to kill sometime. I don't know if it'd be chapter 2 or chapter 5. Chiaki cannot kill right now. You know what I could see happening? I could see Fuyuhiko becoming the first victim. I think I'm changing this around. Chiaki ends up getting killed by Fuyuhiko. If I remember, Chiaki was like being like a bouncer or something. Keep in mind, it's been like a few years since I played Danganronpa 2 fully. I just have like pieces of the game memorized. Kazuichi goes in to spy on the girls, and Akane's like, "What the fuck you doing?" Rawr. And kills him. Sonya could get this bear disease and see Gundam as like the most hideous human thing in the world, which would be taken from another Kodaka game. Which, if you haven't played it, go play it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not gonna say right now. But I could see that being a cause for her to kill. That means 4 of the killers are survivors, and I don't like that. But it's like really the only choice. So I think for chapter 5, there's only 2 options. Because I'm pretty certain that I did originally think that Hajime and Nagito would have the protagonist switch. But I'm starting to, because Nagito's already like a complex character. The main protagonist usually is not that complex. Like at the time you meet them and see much about them. So they're kind of, nicest way to say it is bland. Nagito's not that bland. And I don't think any of the last four I have are bland. Except one, which is Mahiru. I think Mahiru could be the protagonist. One sec. I'm adding the protag. Oh, add a row above. Protag. I think Mahiru could be protag. And then it leaves 3 spots for Hiyoko, Ibuki, and Tugami. As much... I'm trying to think of all the characters. So... I'm going to move characters around. Hopefully I remember where I put them. They have to have a successor, usually. So... like that. Naito, Hajime, Fuyu. Kazuichi has no one. And Sonya has no one. Because I don't think Gundam's gonna live. But I could see Mahiru taking the protagonist spot and having her person be Hiyoko. So I really do think Hiyoko's gonna die chapter 5. Where do I put y'all? I think that's gonna cause Mahiru to be the protagonist, and she's gonna get killed by, I think, Tugami. As much as I'd hate this, because that means Tugami would be the only one that we actually have to have a real trial to figure out. Because at the moment how I have this written down, we're going into chapter 1, like the trial. We have 5 survivors alive. And of course we have everyone else. But taking away people that were victims are already killers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then that 16. So 15 people. Take away people who are already are killers, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would leave about 11 options. But I think it would be easier to like slice it down just to 4 because of the protagonist, these past survivors. Could any of them survive a second time? Yeah. Sonya, I think, at the most, has the best chance of surviving twice. Hiyoko, I think, is gonna not be that humble during this game. Or I would have made her a survivor. So I think Ibuki's the final survivor. I really can't see anyone else. Sorry, I'm taking a screenshot. I failed at taking a screenshot. But I can't see anyone else getting through. Because I don't think they'd want the survivors to be the exact same cast again of survivors. I could see Peko being a victim. I definitely can see it. But I definitely think she's gonna survive. Because you know how, when it was not Kodo, Hajime as the protagonist, it was the trio was really Chiaki, Hajime, and Nagito. But for Mahiru, our trio would most likely be Hiyoko and Nagito, or Hiyoko and Tugami, or I think it could be Peko and Tugami, which is a bunch of options. That's a tweet. That's a bunch of options. But I can't see Ibuki being one of them. At the moment, I think she has the best chance of surviving. Mahiru does, at least. Ibuki, like, third. I could see Nagito dying chapter 1. I can see him dying instead of Chiaki. Basically, if Nagito and Chiaki can switch spots. But I do think one of them dies chapter 1. All the killers can switch spots too, except for Tugami. I just remember with what happened in Danganronpa 2 and using it to compare. But stuff would change. I'm trying to remember the story fully. Teru Teru still has the cookout, like a little cooking. And when Tugami goes under the thing, it doesn't happen. Peko's in the bathroom the whole time. Same with Nekomaru. And so it only leaves a few characters left. I think Fuyuhiko, because Fuyuhiko doesn't join the party at first. And that makes him target number 1 at time. Or culprit, accused culprit, whatever, number 1. And then all that stuff happens. Cut down, those two are dead. Next we have Kazuichi, who is telling Hajime, let's go spy on the girls. And honestly, Hajime probably would fall for it. But I think he'd be like, let me go back to the place and get my swimsuit and just take the long way, which will lead to Kazuichi getting killed by Sonia for spying on the girls. But Sonia would also be at the party. I don't know. Then chapter 3, Despair Disease. All the people that had the disease are still alive at this moment. Who was the 4th one to have the disease? It was Akane, Nagito, and Ibuki. At the moment, they're all alive. I don't think they're going to get the disease again. Maybe Akane would get the disease again because of the Mikon part, where she got the disease. And I think that could end up with her killing Gundam. And then maybe killing Teru. Or I could see it being a Gundam kills Teru and Akane kills Gundam. Like a leeway of that. I think that could happen. Next, we're in the houses. Excuse me. With an even amount, almost 5 women, 4 men. Where they could be like, okay, let's all go there. They all go in their rooms. They're all starving. Tugami's probably the most safest bet there. Mekamaru is also a robot, so he doesn't have to eat. And I could see Mikon, like, being one of the people that are like trying to take care of people, make sure everyone's fine. And then Nagito goes into that room that has like all the weapons, gets one for Hajime, and is like, "Do it, kill her." And Hajime's just like, "Okay," and whacks her. And they try to like make it like an elevator mystery. I think the elevator would be a fun mystery to use for this. And then next would be chapter 5, which Naito's probably not going insane anymore. Or he is, and he's basically about to do something stupid, like get himself killed again. But instead, Tugami is like, "You know what, I'm gonna kill Hiyoko, get this over with." But you can hear my dog snoring. Let him know he's cute. But I could see Tugami killing. I'm also starting to realize I could see Nekomaru killing. Mainly because I think Tugami and Togami meeting would be great writing. So part of me wants to move them. And then they could make like a really fun execution for him. The imposter could also have a really cool execution. Hajime could have, I don't know what they would do for Hajime. Kane and Sonia. Sonia's a princess. You literally could just recreate the killing of Princess Diana. I'm sorry. And then Fuyu, easy mafia thing. I think this is my final order. I think Nekomaru would kill chapter 5. Or Hiyoko would kill chapter 5. Maybe Hiyoko kills. Because Nagito could be like, "I placed a bomb." And no one kills in time. It will kill us all. And Hyoko's like, "I don't want Mahiru dying. So I'm gonna go kill Nekomaru because he's the easiest idiot to beat up. Mentally." And she just whacks him. And no one, and she does like over the head. And no one thinks it can be her because she's so short. I think technically, if she did over the head, only ones that could probably be considered are Peko and Nagito, which would be smart. And then Hiyoko at the end is like, "I did it," or Mahiru's like, "I know who did it. It's Hiyoko," and they're like, "Wow!" And it spooks everyone because they did not expect it. Because apparently, maybe Hiyoko was changing from how she was chapter 1 and 2. Because you can see in chapter 3, it was because of Mahiru's death. But you can see a bit of it in chapter 2. She was changing. She was becoming more mature thanks to Mahiru. And they wanted to make Hiyoko a survivor anyway. So I think that would keep her, like, around to the end, at least. I can't really see them making her the lock room murder, or the grape house, strawberry house thing. I don't see her being the despair disease. I can't see her being the beach, or the first chapter, because I think Hiyoko would know not to do something stupid yet. And I think she'd mature by the end and be like, "Oh my god, Mahiru, I don't want her to die. Nagito's gonna kill her." So she just whacks Nekomaru. They all go through the trial, she dies, and then the survivors all talk to Makoto, Kyoko, and Togami. It'd be funny if they changed the 3 that go to see them to be Toko, Aoi, and Yasuhiro, but I can't see that being so. Because they're not. I was about to say they're not smart enough. But Otoko's smart, she's just stupid. But yes, this is my final order. Taking another screenshot just in case I lost it. And I think that'll be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Tell me your theories in the comments. I actually really want to read them. My Danganronpa obsession brain wants to know. Thank you. Bye.